Have you ever imagined a piece of land so beautiful, where all you see are clear blue skies, ranges of snow-capped mountains, glimpses of refreshing rivers and lakes, where nature is at its best? The northern areas of Pakistan are one example of such enchanted beauty of nature. Here, the world's greatest mountain ranges unite, the Himalayas, which literally means the snowland. The Karakoram and Hindu Kush ranges are characterized by high elevations, steep-sided rough peaks, and high-altitude glaciers of astounding size. Among them is the Baltoro Glacier, one of the longest glaciers having a length of over 62 kilometers, complementing the beauty of nature in Gilgit-Baltistan, and is surrounded by several other peaks over 8,000 meters. These mountains and glaciers give rise to many rivers and glacial lakes, which pass through beautiful mountain valleys hidden amidst these ranges. These valleys are home to a culturally diverse and multilingual set of people. The culture, costumes, music, and cuisines of the northern Pakistan have an element of uniqueness about them. Some of their cultural festivals include Nowroz, Jashn-e-Bahara, Shandur, Babusar Polo Festival, and Harvest Festival. This region is a source of interest for earth scientists and geologists. The Karakoram, Hindu Kush, and the Himalayas are one of the world's most geologically active areas. This region also draws attention from the social sector due to the severe damage that global warming has caused to the area. Melting of glaciers can cause flooding and soil erosion. Climate change has become an important factor of extreme events such as gulfs, droughts, and heavy rainfall events. These events are likely to increase as the climate change continues. The rising temperatures are causing glaciers to recede from 40 to 60 meters per decade, and hence making the northern regions of Pakistan vulnerable to several climate change hazards such as gulf, avalanches, and landslides. As glaciers melt, glacial lakes are formed, and water is filled up in natural moraine or in ice dams at the bottom or on top of these glaciers. The moraine or ice dams containing the lakes can breach suddenly due to extreme volumes of water, leading to glacial lake outburst floods.
Pakistan is probably one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change on the planet. In fact, it's one of the 10 most vulnerable countries to climate change. Not only is climate change going to affect all of our environment, but it's going to have very deep consequences on livelihoods, on security, on international relations, and on Pakistan's capacity to tackle poverty reduction, to tackle its development challenges. So the responsibility to tackle these challenges is of everybody, of course of the government, but of every institution, the private sector, and institutions like UNDP are here to support that. So this is a very important initiative that we are supporting by the government, especially in the north of Pakistan. And we think that by demonstrating how these communities can adapt in certain key areas, we can reproduce this throughout the country in the future.
Gulf can release millions of cubic meters of water and debris, which can be as high as 15,000 cubic meters per second, enough to make the communities nearby witness their worst nightmare.
यहाँ जो अभी काम हो रहा है वो हमारे सारी कम्युनिटी मिलकर ये काम कर रही है अपने तहफ़्फ़ुज़ के लिए, प्रोटेक्शन के लिए। वहाँ से जब सैलाब गुज़रता है तो हमारे ज़मीनें जो हैं वो कटाव करके वो लेके बहा के ले जाता है। घर भी आस-पास नाले के साथ-साथ घर हैं, माल मवेशी के घर हैं, बाड़ियात हैं, तो उनको भी बहा के लेके जाता था। इस प्रोटेक्टिव बंद की वजह से हमें तहफ़्फ़ुज़ मिलेगा उससे।
In past, cloth events have occurred every 3 to 10 years in the Himalayas with varying degrees of socio-economic impact. From 1950 till now, floods have caused severe destruction worth billions of rupees and have accounted up for thousands of lives. A total of 35 destructive outburst floods have been recorded in the Karakoram region, and at least 11 surges of exceptional scale have been recorded so far. As a result, lives, livelihoods, infrastructure and economic assets have been damaged. Recently, 5,218 glaciers and 2,420 lakes have been identified and mapped in Pakistan. Among the identified lakes, 52 lakes have been labelled as potentially hazardous and are likely to cause cloth over the next few years to decades. Therefore, if appropriate and timely adaptation measures are not taken, the damage and destruction in terms of livelihoods and infrastructure will be irreversible. Disaster management is a relatively new field in Pakistan. Work is being done in the country to increase community resilience against monsoonal floods and seismic activity. However, taking measures to reduce the impact of climate change is neglected.
सालाना गर्मियों में इस नाले में सैलाब आता है, तो इस सैलाब की वजह से बहुत सारे नुकसानात इस गांव में होते हैं। इसमें जानी नुकसानात भी होते हैं, मकानात और ज़ेर काश्त ज़मीनें, बहुत सारे नुकसानात होते हैं, ज़मीन की कटाव होती है। तो अब यहाँ पर प्रोटेक्शन वाल बनाए जा रहे हैं। खुसूसन ये प्रोटेक्शन वाल जो बन रही है यहाँ पे, इसके ऊपर एक वाटर चैनल है जिसके पानी से नीचे गांव की सारी ज़मीनें वो सैराब होती हैं। तो सैलाब की वजह से वो नहर कट जाता था और पानी की फराहमी मुनक़ता हो जाती थी। अब ये प्रोटेक्शन वाल जो बन रही है उसकी मदद से, उसकी वजह से शायद इंशाल्लाह बात मुस्तक़बिल में ऐसा नहीं होगा, ये मसला फिर नहीं होगा।
Because pati bota glacier ispa habi nigula kya halata giti ispa hera giti ugalisian kapala diti o hera giti hegola giti ahevrazo talisian ugani ahevraza biko khak ahni siran kapal chamuran hera giti ugaliko ispa bota glif he uga biko he ugasura kya qisma ki ispa sura rakho mare tami bojam boy he bachene.
Recognizing the potential threat of cloth to the northern communities of Pakistan due to climate change and the anticipated severe damage, UNDP and the government of Pakistan initiated a project called Reducing Risks and Vulnerabilities from Glacier Lake Outburst Floods in northern Pakistan, in Bagrot, in Kilkit and Bandugol in Chitral.
On the index of vulnerability, Pakistan is ranked amongst the top 10 countries of the world because it suffered a lot due to climate change. Government of Pakistan, understanding the need of the time, created Ministry of Climate Change at federal level after the 18th Amendment. I would like to highlight over here that the government of Pakistan, considering the potential dangerous lakes, took an initiative by involving the international donors, adaptation funds and UNDP, and initiated the project in year 2011.
The aim of the project was to enable vulnerable communities to have a better understanding of the issues and improve community resilience for effective response to glacial lake outburst and to encourage adaptation to growing climate change. Under this project, GLOF was introduced and incorporated as a subject in the National Climate Change Policy and has recently been approved by the Government of Pakistan. Research work on capacity gaps analysis of government and non-government entities has been carried out to map out need assessment of institutions which are directly engaged in mitigating GLOF disaster risk. Initiatives can then be taken to fill these gaps. In order to address risk of GLOF, it is essential to understand the phenomena and its potential threats. Pakistan GLOF project conducted glacial lake outburst floods awareness raising workshops and disseminated IEC material to increase awareness of GLOF threats among all stakeholders and other associated political, developmental and academic entities. Risk and vulnerability assessment along with hazard mapping has been completed by Pakistan GLOF project in Bagrot, Gilgit and Bindugol, Chitral. 2 weather observatories have been installed by Pakistan GLOF project in Gilgit and Chitral districts to monitor and record basic metadata. In order to decrease the impact of GLOF in terms of human and material loss, Pakistan GLOF project has installed automated weather stations at Gilgit and will soon be installing them in Chitral as well. This will allow high-altitude meteorological and hydrological data to be recorded. These automated weather stations will transmit real-time data to Pakistan Meteorological Department, which will help in devising an early warning system for the community at large. Pakistan GLOF project has involved and trained the community by forming community-based hazard watch groups and disaster management committees to monitor and report emerging threats from glacial lake outburst. Engineering structures for mitigating glacial lake outburst floods risk for the downstream communities have been designed and their costing has been completed. All of the structural interventions are expected to complete in due course. More than 26,000 people directly benefited from the project, and indirect beneficiaries of the project are more than 1 million people of the vulnerable mountain communities in northern Pakistan.
The project has enhanced the access of policymakers, disaster management planners, and researchers to the information, knowledge, and literature on GLOF and other climate change-induced disasters through workshops, coordination meetings, IEC material, media campaigns, developing linkages and communication networks. We have initiated construction of climate change mitigation structures like divergence spurs, check dams and gabion walls, and facilitated target communities in formation of valley-based disaster risk management committees. The project has also conducted and documented series of GLOF-related case studies and reports, which are now accessible to local, national and international community for knowledge sharing and further research on GLOF and other glacier and water related issues. I think for Pakistan this was a very important project. Its impact on vulnerable people is now visible. They feel safer from GLOF disasters and more benefits are anticipated in near future. The project can also be used as a climate change adaptation and GLOF risk reduction model for replication in other glacier regions of Pakistan or elsewhere in the world.
Today, the targeted communities are cooperating with Pakistan GLOF project in implementing the project, reducing risks and vulnerabilities from glacial lake outburst floods in northern Pakistan, realizing that if they all do not take adaptive measures, regardless of what environmental conditions currently prevail, the enchanted valleys they grew up in, the people they grew up with, the houses they have always been living in, their crops and livestock, which is the main source of their livelihoods, and their entire ecosystem with heavenly physical and cultural beauty will get washed away in a glimpse.